So the future of the WNBA is a very questionable one. And I say questionable, but really it's one that I'm pretty sure is not very bright. I think it's a dark future, and the reason why I think that is because everything is dependent upon Caitlin Clark. Without Caitlin Clark, this league is not a league that the average basketball fan wants to watch. And I haven't been making videos as of late because I've been skipping games. And the reason I've been skipping games has been mainly because I've been busy, but also because I'm not putting things away to prioritize these WNBA games because Caitlin Clark's not playing right now, and the basketball is just bad. Genuinely speaking, it's not fun basketball to watch, and I think if you're a basketball league, you have to have fans that enjoy watching your league mainly because of the basketball on the court. That's where you're going to attract the casual fan. That's when people are going to turn on the WNBA game when they're having a get-together. They'll turn on that WNBA game because it's something you can watch in the background that you can talk about, and you could be like, dang, that was a crazy move. It'll keep the conversation alive. But the WNBA is more of a thing that's going to bring about negative conversations because it's like, what is this? Nothing fun is happening. And I think the science behind why Caitlin Clark is so popular, and I can really only speak for myself here, is that it's almost like a hero story. It's Caitlin Clark, the hero, the player who is kind of saving the league with her brilliant basketball play. But then it's the fact that everyone around her in the WNBA hates her. They're jealous, and their jealousy just explodes all over the viewers, and we can do nothing but want to support Caitlin Clark more because of how much hate surrounds her. She's like the good guy against a bunch of villains, so you want to support her, and then add on that the fact that she's just box office on the court, or at least she was when she wasn't injured. She's been basically injured the entirety of the year, so her play hasn't been that good when she's been out there. She's being postponed at least a couple more weeks. We might not even see her until the end of September, if even we see her at the end of this season at all. And so we haven't got to see the basketball side of Caitlin Clark, and really what's been keeping all these fans is the storyline. It's funny how if you go on X, every single tweet that pops off surrounding the WNBA is a tweet about drama, a tweet about people throwing things on the court that they shouldn't be throwing on the court, a tweet about someone saying they hate Sophie Cunningham, or a tweet about Caitlin Clark and her love for Taylor Swift, or a tweet about anything that has nothing to do with basketball. The tweets that pop off surrounding the WNBA are tweets that are totally political. It is political culture content. People who are fans of the WNBA probably got intercepted into it because of the drama surrounding the league. People aren't deciding to watch WNBA games because of the play on the court. And so when the player who is attracting all this drama, attracting all this media attention, the political pawn of the entire situation is sidelined, then people have no reason to continue watching the WNBA. People have no reason to continue watching the sport. And it's mainly because the entirety of the league's growth has been dependent upon storyline. It has not been dependent upon basketball play. Now, for Caitlin Clark, it's a little different because she actually is box office, which is why people are so driven to support her, because people can tell that she's just so much better than everybody. And the average fan of the WNBA is taking that and they're saying, okay, this is why your league hasn't been growing. It's not because of women's rights. It's not because of this and that. It's because you don't know how to play ball. So it becomes a political thing, but it's rooted in basketball. But if Caitlin Clark is the only root of basketball, if Caitlin Clark happens to not pan out, imagine if she just continues to be an injury-prone player for the rest of her career, this league won't grow. And even if she is healthy, even if she is a player who is box office for years and years and years, eventually that spark of seeing Caitlin Clark cook her opponents is going to die out. It'll be great if Caitlin Clark continues to struggle a little bit just for the fans, because it'll keep you watching and you'll watch to see her finally cook these folks and finally show them right. That's why people don't write the climax of the book on the first page. It'll keep readers watching until the end, but that end has to come. Eventually, Caitlin Clark is going to break all the records. Eventually, if Caitlin Clark stays out of injury troubles, she's going to cook everybody. She's going to win championships. And then what? Is there going to be other players who rise up and play that level of basketball? But even if they do play that level of basketball, will it have the same effect as Caitlin Clark had? Because there's just so many things that have boiled over until this point that make Caitlin Clark global. There's so many reasons as to why Caitlin Clark is who she is. It's because of the moment. There have been so many reasons for people to hate WNBA players, and then Caitlin Clark comes around and shows you why you haven't been getting this media attention, and it makes you as a fan want to support her. But what if we don't get that again? This league with Caitlin Clark in it right now is probably at the climax of what it can be. And I mean that as it is. They can take this league to a higher level so long as they use this climax as fuel to reach an entire different floor. But to do that, everybody's going to have to raise their skill level and switch up their play style to kind of mimic what people enjoy out of Caitlin Clark. But is that realistically going to happen? Probably not. We're probably not going to see WNBA players start shooting it from 40, start throwing those flashy passes, mainly because these players don't have the skill to do so. Bro, Odyssey Sims looked like she ain't played basketball since she got released. Some of these players just are not very good, and it's the truth. Can you play in a team setting at a very high level? A lot of these players can, but can you captivate the attention of the audience by doing things that the average basketball fan of the modern day would consider to be exciting? Probably not. Caitlin Clark can, but then who else? Paige Beckers is a very good player, but every single thing I see about her online has to do with drama revolving around her, and usually the name Caitlin Clark is thrown in there as well, and a lot of it does not have to do with the fact that she is playing good basketball and is going to win the Rookie of the Year race. In fact, when people are actually talking about her game, they're usually talking about the fact that she's a foul baiter. That's no good, y'all. That's no good. The WNBA is a basketball league. We need people talking positively about the basketball. The vast majority of the rhetoric that surrounds this league should be about good basketball, positive basketball. And when we get to the actual basketball conversations outside of Caitlin Clark, it seems like we're only speaking negatively, except for the people who like live in their little WNBA echo chamber, the people who like genuinely enjoy watching WNBA basketball and you've been watching it for 10 years. Well, you don't count, because everyone who actually enjoys basketball and watches basketball for basketball can all come together and acknowledge the fact that WNBA basketball is not exciting basketball. I could probably pick 5 professional basketball leagues that I would watch over the WNBA. If you want that video, you can have it. All of them would be men's leagues. I mean, the G League is going to give you more exciting games at a higher level of play than WNBA games. College basketball games for men are going to be more exciting, and sometimes for women as well, they're going to be more exciting than WNBA games. Drew League games are probably going to be more exciting than WNBA games. Overtime league games are probably going to be more exciting for the basketball fan than WNBA games. That is a problem, a big problem. Now, Caitlin Clark is the anomaly because people want to watch Caitlin Clark because of what she's doing, the new things she's bringing to this league. But that is going to end. You can't just have one player reach a new height, touch the stars, and then expect everyone around that player to also be at the level of the stars when it's all said and done. No, when it's all said and done, she's going to be at the stars. If she ever touches down, everything else comes down too. 50 balloons don't lift a chair into the sky, and then when all the balloons pop, the chair just stays floating in the air. That actually does not happen. What happens when all the balloons pop is the chair falls, and in that analogy, the balloons are Caitlin Clark, and when Caitlin Clark is all said and done for this league, everything's gonna crumble. Even if her career goes perfectly from now to the end of it, and Caitlin Clark comes back and she's averaging 30, 10, and 10, everybody's watching the Caitlin Clark games. Brother, when she retires, people will stop watching this league. You might have your 10 years of fame, but it will not last. This league is crumbling under the weight of their horrible basketball play. It's not entertaining. That is the problem. You have to captivate the audience attention by fun basketball. What you're seeing in the WNBA is not fun basketball, and that, my friends, is the problem. Until the WNBA begins to produce fun basketball, this league will never be standalone successful. Right now, they are successful at the hands of Caitlin Clark and the drama that comes with her. But even Caitlin Clark alone can't take this league out of the debt that they're in. This league is still going to be unwatchable for the vast majority of their games because Caitlin Clark is not going to play in every game. So a percentage of the games that happen in the WNBA might be enjoyable to watch because Caitlin Clark is playing in them, but then what about all the other games? You're still an unsuccessful league because the vast majority of the content that you produce is not fun to watch. Caitlin Clark single-handedly cannot make the WNBA a league worth respect. She can make some of the games in the WNBA worth watching, but Caitlin Clark cannot save this league. This league as a whole has to come together and raise their play of basketball, raise their storyline, raise the rivalries, raise the effort. But do you think that's going to happen? Because I don't. Do you think the WNBA is going to figure it out? Because I don't. I see a whole lot of settling. I see a whole lot of complacency. And I don't think the WNBA is going to be a league worth covering in the next 20 years. Caitlin Clark is a player worth covering. Caitlin Clark's storyline is a fun one. It's like one of those old DC comics where you have the hero and then you have the hero against all these wicked villains. But when that ends, is the WNBA as a league worth watching? I do not think so. I'm very excited for Caitlin Clark to come back. Obviously, we'll get back into the film breakdowns. I'll keep giving you guys coverage of these games. I know the Indiana Fever are going to play tomorrow, and I'll probably cover that game as well, y'all. But I also might skip some games without Caitlin Clark. And if I do, I'm sure you probably skipped it too. But I'm done. Seriously, this time I'm done. Y'all didn't hurt my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think about this in the comments. So go ahead and leave your comments and give your 2 cents. I want to hear your perspective of the situation. This is just mine. But I'm out, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Peace.